socialize, to spend time together, to get the blood flowing, right? All the careful, don't pull a muscle, right? I'm saying it like it's only older people, but obviously, you know, a lot of that generation out for this particular event, Steel Van and Juve kind of mix on Republic Day, right? Enjoy. I hope it is a safe one for all those participants this morning. A lot going on, you know. We must start it with something Trini, the infusion of David Rudder, giant of our older generation of more than just music, and the up-and-coming superstar, not quite in the category of that great yet, but well on his way, Mikel Teja. Blessings to both of them. As we talking national awards, you know, you never know, because tremendous. And I mean, my memory probably doesn't serve me correct. I can't actually remember, but I'm almost sure in a guess that David Rudder has been awarded something. I don't know, you know, I haven't even checked, but just on the face of it, a lot of posthumous awards going out this year as well. I went through the list last night. You know, people who have made sterling contributions but have passed on, who have transitioned. And of course, we do remember that our time here on this earth is short. We don't even have an idea exactly how long, and that's the shortest short, right? When you don't even know how short the short is. But even in the longest stem of possible existence, it is short. And that is why we encourage people to live right, to do good, and to look forward to more, further, to look forward to beyond just this space and this place and this existence. Hey, I know different people have different beliefs and understandings. I share mine and respect those that others have as well. I respect totally those who have others as well. A lot going on in the world today, so Ole Boy was up late last night taking a good read and listen to some of the comments and statements coming out, and of course the addresses themselves coming out of the United Nations General Assembly. Had some big ones yesterday. Brazil starting things off as they started it off in the first ever General Assembly. So because they, you know, took that option to speak first in the first ever General Assembly, they always go first. And President Lula having some things to say, obviously, the trials and challenges that they are also going through in Brazil, politically and otherwise as well. But followed right after by Donald Trump and his representation of the United States. You know, that's a big one. Eh? This is the thing with representative politics, democracy in all its many forms, with its positives and its flaws. This individual who is elected through whatever process, who represents you on the world stage, it's not easy, you know. And obviously some people with positive remarks about, not even from the external but even the internal, about their president, of the United States, and then of others with some critical remarks as well. He himself had some critical statements about the United Nations itself, and a lot of discussion taking place. The decisions, the policies, the actions and inaction of some of our leaders in the world affects us all. And we know that. We know that in Trinidad and Tobago. We know that we have to walk a cautious road sometimes. We know the power, earthly power, that some of these countries and individuals wield, and we know to be cautious when they swing their sledge and their hammer, not to get crushed, right? So very, very interesting stuff going on. As I said, the United States president being quite critical of the United Nations. By chance, things were malfunctioning around him, and he made a joke out of it, which is, probably one of his highest points, especially in human interaction. He does have a little sense of humor at times. The escalator stopped working when he tried to go up, and the teleprompter would have malfunctioned a bit as well. And that's why you will see he made the joke, and human nature as well, serious statements in joke, that those are the two things that the United Nations have given the United States. Of course, he echoed a sentiment that many people also disagree with, a continuous sentiment of this America First type of policy. And America First in a way that it does not really speak towards global prosperity and shared prosperity. Very interesting to hear statements about the United States being unfairly burdened by the rest of the world and not given its due. And very, very interesting. I know, and there was this commentary as well about this particular address, it being one that was received with a lot of silence. So take a look for yourself if you wish. It does impact us. Obviously, we understand the power, the strength of global economies. We understand, as he said, the power of let me see if I can remember and quote specifically, the supremacy of military might of the United States, as he boasted and used the word. You don't want to be not speaking braggadociously, right? Very, very interesting speech. But the supremacy, and I believe strongly in the supremacy of our Almighty Creator. That's a very strong and loaded word to use, but he directed us to remember the supremacy of the military might of the United States, and that is what he utilizes to end wars. He claimed to end 7 wars as well in the 7 months that he has been there. And obviously chided at the United Nations for its inability to end wars. As I said, there are shorter clips as well that you can take out of it. He spoke with a certain level of comfort, so he spoke for some time. very interesting comments, but you understand where his mind is and where it comes from. If we look at the entire context as well, so many people now recognizing, I'm saying people, but countries who formerly would not have ventured to recognize the Palestinian state that has existed, but recognizing that state now and in the last week as well, carrying the percentage up to, I think, over 81% of the countries represented at the United Nations recognizing them. You know, we looked on at the conversation around Palestine and even the statements of Tayyip Erdogan, the president of Turkey, the King of Jordan. Is he king alone or and prime minister? But King of Jordan, right? Also speaking about what is a burning topic and a travesty to justice, something that the majority of the world has recognized, and the actions as impunity. So let's wrap our heads around it. Let us understand what is taking place. Another year where the representatives of Palestine have been refused visas to enter the United States and therefore to be part of this assembly, which again there are criticisms being laid on the United States for that as well. And they will appear, I believe, virtually, but even enshrined within the hosting of this headquarters for the United Nations is that responsibility to allow and to guarantee the safety and immunity of all leaders whose countries are part of the United Nations. But another gross failure there as well. And we understand. I feel confident that Trinidad and Tobago understands. I feel confident that even the Caribbean, the wider Caribbean, has a level of understanding of what is taking place in global politics. I think we could see hegemony, imperialism, power being utilized for the benefit of a few at the detriment of others, and recognize it. I think we have that understanding. I think our historical context coming out of slavery and indentureship, our looking back at apartheid in South Africa, our looking at other forms of exploitation, other forms of theories of supremacy, racial supremacy, even supremacy from an aspect of national supremacy as well. We could recognize, and we know what ugly looks like. So we look on, and we look forward to as well people closer to home, as in our regional leaders as well, making their mark in the United Nations. We are going to see, of course, all member states, their leaders make representations and address the General Assembly and the wider world. So we're going to see our Prime Minister as well make her statements and represent us. Right, we look forward. Well, me personally, I can't speak for everybody, right? I ain't elected in that way, right? But I am extremely mindful of the views and the opinions of others, even though I may hold views that I feel are grounded in reason and fact. But I am understanding of alternate and different views of others. But we look forward to representatives from the Caribbean. I, in particular, look forward to also Mia Motley's usual powerful, well articulated statements, something that make me proud as a citizen of this region as well. And I'm sure others will make powerful statements as well, without fear, without prejudice or bias, but looking at things from an educated perspective. So a lot going on in the world. Of course, simultaneously, Israel continues to wage its genocide against the people of Palestine, hundreds being killed over the last days, thousands over the last days cumulatively, and this destruction continues unabated, protected with impunity, and that saddens and concerns us all internationally. Of course, the conflict in Ukraine continues, and in other places as well, Sudan, and we are very concerned about all of those things that are going on. So if you have time, or make time, we have a holiday today, enjoy it as well, but keep up to date with what is taking place. In Trinidad and Tobago as well, we have different local concerns. I have been in communication with a number of people who are involved in digital currency and trade, and they have expressed their concern over the new bill that is being proposed. A lot of conversation around Trinidad and Tobago, so I took the opportunity to read some of that correspondence, to read some of the articles around that issue as well. A proposed ban on virtual assets, and of course people who are involved in that trade and business, and that opportunity, because it's an opportunity to people as well, speaking about their views on it, expressing their dissatisfaction and their dismay about some of the proposals as well. Right, that has to be recorded and respected. Again, democracy is the decision of the majority with respect to the minority as well. We have to be very careful how we create and come to a majority consensus. We have to be very careful that we do not run afoul of the principles of representation, of the principles of democracy in our execution of our duties as representatives. So, very interesting times we live in. We understand also some of the objectives that have been laid out in terms of this new proposition about virtual assets, the effort to stop the illegal activities that take place around virtual assets, cryptocurrencies, and other things, as takes place as well with traditional forms of banking. There are regulations there as well, but there are pros to regulations and there are also cons, and sometimes the starting point is extremely onerous or maybe extreme in the way that it is put forward. And it is really for us to be mindful and listen to people in the industry, to listen to our citizens who are involved in virtual assets as well, so that we become fairer to even them as well, and not just operate in a silo of what we think based on some of the evils that pertain. Right? A lot going on. I have the local news in front of us. As we said, yes, wonderful national awards going to take place. Happy to see some people. Mr. Kenny Phillips, congratulations. Right? Uncle. Right? And so many others. Like I said, a few people posthumously as well who have passed away, but are now being recognized and encouraged. People in those industries being encouraged, people in those service areas as well being encouraged by these people being awarded. Sometimes the award is not just for them, it is also in the context of their efforts, and thus those others who make sterling efforts are encouraged and feel as though that also belongs to you. Don't get just too tied up in the one individual who is recognized, but also understand the industry, the leaders of the industry as well, that is in general also being awarded and recognized. Let us not be too selfish and myopic in the way that we think about things as well. A rollout of all the different awards and rewards given to our sportsmen as well. The entire TKR team is going to be awarded as well. I mightn't have room later in the award ceremony, boy. Gosh, I have to book my space early. But yeah, the entire team being awarded, and I know Trinbagonians would be happy about that, as we are proud and happy about their victory in CPL. Keyshawn Walcott, awarded $500,000 TT, right? Awarded as well, Sport Ambassador. Tremendous. Also, Nicholas Puran, new Sports Ambassador. Also, Jareem as well, right? Awarded, I think, $250,000 in accordance with what is the policy from the Ministry of Sport as well. Can't start to compensate them, but a recognition of how much it means to Trinidad and Tobago, and obviously done on our behalf. We have to start to feel as though we are also governing, right? We have to also get involved in the process as much as possible. We have to, in whatever ways are available to us, and sometimes we have to come up with creative ways, express our views so that we shape governance. And I say that, and I'm thinking about people in the virtual asset space who are concerned. And I'm saying that I've seen some of your expressions carried through the media, which is an important avenue. Our leaders must pay attention to what is taking place in the media. Or they listen to 91.9 FM on a morning, right? From 6:30 to 8. I'm telling all you, if all you know are good for all you. Right? Or you listen to 91.9 FM. Listen to others as well. Or you pay attention to the views of the population. Continue in the vein of getting consultation. Continue getting consultation from the wider population. Continue to tread lightly and be mindful of the minority. Listen to views. Be careful where you take your advice from and ensure that your advice is from a wide range. Not just those who are close and afraid sometimes to express alternative views. I'm warning you all, eh? Make sure your pulse is on the people. Listen. Make sure you listen. Make sure you're in touch with the pulse of the people. Make sure your hand, your finger, wherever is more sensitive, so that you could pick up what is transpiring and act in accordance. And as I say that, I looked on at the statement of the Honorable Prime Minister as well about Mr. Alexander's comments in the national space as well. And as I said, right, reprimand and discharge. And you could see her concern. Those statements do not represent the government, and in a very interesting manner of speech, stay in your lane, right? Hey, stay in your lane. And of course, big man thing, I also want to say respect to Mr. Philip Alexander as well for his statement around that and pulling down all the things that would have violated the organization that he is involved and working with, right? You have to be more responsible. He pull it down. He offers apology, and he also, spoke towards him not being bigger than a reprimand, and also not having that unchecked ego that he can't be corrected, right? And we could appreciate that, right? We could appreciate that. This little matter as well with the Minister of Homeland Security, Mr. Roger Alexander, and now the reason for his visit being put out by the police service and Mr. Smith in particular, right? Putting an end to that conversation, maybe. Sometimes people prolong things as well, but we have seen that document and it's in the public space as well. Some other things coming to an end, and the headline is Warner walks free. The High Court ends the extradition battle of former FIFA Vice President Jack Warner. Trinidad and Tobago, we have made global impact. We have punched beyond our weight in so many different ways. And of course, the Vice President of FIFA, right, being from our small Twin Island Republic at one point, punching above our weight at that point in time, and the challenges that embroiled him as well around his workings, and the United States and others as well having some serious issues with him in particular, because of the award of World Cup and stuff like that, and representations. People are well aware of the case, right? But that saga has come to an end in terms of his extradition with this High Court ruling. Oh yeah, how I could forget to mention awards for a number of interesting individuals as well. The individual who risked his life to go into a car to to save someone in an accident on the Beetham, I believe, right, awarded, and also the guy who climbed up the Ferris wheel. I know you all may remember that one as well, in Movie Town, to save a 4-year-old, given awards as well. Feel good, really, really nice. A nice feeling around. A number of professionals as well being awarded. Y'all could take a list. Professor Selwyn Kujo as well. The list is available so that we can see who we Trinidad and Tobago have awarded, right? And feel some pride in that as well. So I know people would not have expected me to be on today, right? But I take a step in just to continue and to share the sentiments of Happy Republic Day. A shortened version as well, because I came in a little bit late as well. But feel free if anybody wants to call in. And of course, good morning and blessings. Happy Republic Day to all those who follow the program. I've seen a couple of people on YouTube. Well, special good morning to Voices of the Street, right? To the program in particular. To 91.9 FM family. To Mr. George and everybody else involved in the station as well. Happy Republic Day, and we extend those warm sentiments to all of our ardent followers and listeners. Of course, those people on social media who choose this morning to be up early and share their morning with me, right, and with 91.9 FM by extension. Right, special warm blessings to you and your family as well, and everybody else. Right, the program would not be what it is without you, and we have to recognize that as human beings, as people in the public sphere, as leaders in whatever respect. We have to understand that we are nothing without others, without people, and we have to act in accordance with that. We have to love people more than we love power and money and all those other things, right? We have to love people. People are the center of our existence and our lives. It is not just about things or power. There is a joy and a strength and a spirit from our unity and our interaction that is way more than just the joy from things, right? Good.
Yeah, morning, Mr. Walker.
Hey, morning, brother.
Yeah, bless up, man. Happy Republic.
Yeah, man. Same to you, brother.
Right, and I have a little thing for them youths, and them we get a little trouble, boy, with their pants down. They need a belt, because you can't run to belt a javelin with your pants halfway.
Yeah, man.
Mr. Abubakar?
At all, you can't do that. They need a belt.
Right.
They need a belt for the pants alone, or they need a belt or whip.
Yeah, bless up. Yeah, they have to get very fast, man. I find it taking too slow. Walk with some belt for them, and you have to beat them, and just give them the put tie in the pan. Nice, boy. Bless up. Yeah, everybody. Hold on that. Nice.
All right, nice. Thanks. Blessings. I thought you mean the belt to beat them too, you know. I mean, I ain't adverse to little licks, right, if it's necessary, and obviously there are different ways that we discipline our society as well. There is a big stick involved in our society and our nation whether it be peer pressure, positive peer pressure, the condemnation by our peers and people around us, whether it be the vocal scolding, which works sometimes, whether it be that talking to, oh God, boy, what are you doing? And sometimes, you know, there are physical consequences. A Cat09, which still exists in our system as a punitive measure, right? A Cat09 might be better than sitting down in jail, wasting your life, right? You're better with that short pain, a couple weeks to recover, that sting on your back, probably better in some circumstances than wasting a life, wasting time sitting down in prison, you know, just doing nothing, withering away. So I hear you with the belt, right? They need a belt for the waist to ensure that our pants stay up. You can't pelt a javelin, and you certainly cannot run 400 meters in that time and put Trinidad and Tobago on the map with your pants dropping off. Pull up your pants. Pull up your socks, Trinidad and Tobago. You know, fix it on your waist and move and get going and do your best. When you have energy and strength, put that energy and that strength into productive action. Work harder and also, you know, enjoy. I have nothing against the enjoyment that is taking place. Those who went out to Uncommon last night, I contemplated it. I was thinking to go out and give my boy Darren Nurse that support. Didn't get out of my bed. Right? And home, I mean, up as well, but that engrossed in learning as well. Let us learn. Let us advance ourselves as much as possible. Let us make that effort, like those who are being awarded today, to be as professional as possible, to put our all, to put our effort into what we do. Let me see if I can go through and find some of the other people as well who have been awarded. Trinidad and Tobago is so small that many of us have family or friends or colleagues who would be on this list. Just a list of 30 people, for example, would probably connect more than a third of our population. That is how interconnected we are in this small Twin Island Republic. I saw Lou, right? Lou, who is one of the members of Freetown Collective, along with Mohammed Moakil, right? Big up to Freetown Collective. Signing some little agreements with the Tobago House of Assembly and Mr. Farley as well. Good morning to Chief Secretary and Nutsi and everybody else, right? And I didn't know Lou was Tobagonian, but the interconnection between us as a people is overwhelming, and therefore we could connect, and we must understand and respect and honor those who have achieved and also be encouraged by it and celebrate it as ourselves, as our own as well. So former Chief Secretary Ho Choi Charles as well has been awarded the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Professor Kenneth Ramchand as well. I'm not too familiar with him, but other people would be. Of course, as we mentioned before, Professor Selwyn Cudjoe, all too common, a familiar name as well. Fazal Karim as well, and so many others, right? They are contained within the body of this article. Of course, I mentioned Kenny Phillips as well, and that would have stand out to me. Oh yeah, Che Rodriguez as well would have stood out, and Ivan Tulsi as well, right? Congratulations to you as well. So many people who have excelled in different walks of life. Let me keep going down. Let me see who else. And of course, our sportsmen and sportswomen, right? So many people across the different disciplines that they have excelled in, being given these awards from Trinidad and Tobago, being awarded from us, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, for their service and for their work. So we congratulate them, and we are inspired by them. May the next generation of sportsmen and sportswomen, may the next generation of educators, the next generation of radio broadcasters, media personnel, all the different disciplines that are represented and awarded, may those people who are coming forward be inspired, right? I am inspired by a number of people as well, and I will continue to work towards not just the awards, right? Which you never know. You never know through your efforts what you can achieve. And do not limit yourself as to what you can achieve, but also work towards serving in whatever capacity, serving the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So, blessings to everyone on this Republic Day again. I'll close off the program with some of my favorite, what I think are Trinbagonian songs, alright? Although don't fuss up too much. Of course, that means that on social media I have to come off because I don't want my post to be flagged. But blessings to everyone. Have a absolutely wonderful Republic Day. Take care.
Let me tell you a story about the